Okay, this goes out to my fellow youth in the country, because the current situation is not the kind of situation where we can stand by and just watch what's happening. Because if we focus our energy on just commenting on the posts of those who are at the forefront, it doesn't really help the situation. You and I have to bring accountability, okay? These are not the federal days. People are more knowledgeable now. We are more knowledgeable now. I believe in the youth of this country. I believe that you and I have got knowledge that we never had back then, because you and I are more educated now and we are more aware of the happenings of this country and of the world. We know the world is also in chaos. There's no way we can see such kind of disorder happening and then you and I just sit back. This is why development in my country, Zambia, is slowed down. But it all starts with you and I. If you and I are willing to stand up and make that change is going to happen. But if you and I are cowards, like they expect us to be, it's not going to happen. And the same thing is going to happen over and over again. This is why it's easy for outsiders to even come and take advantage of us, because they know, one, we don't know how to get ourselves together, which is not true. Because we know how to get ourselves together, but when push comes to shove, people don't want to stand up. My call is for the youth of this country, okay? There's frustration going around, people posting here, posting there, that's good. But one thing I know is that the first step to a movement is complaining, okay? Then, when people bring out their views, to me, the most important step is what we do afterwards. We can raise signs, we can post videos, we can do this and that. But if we don't take the step to bring accountability, you and I, it's not going to happen. And then these people know that you and I don't know how to get ourselves together, which is wrong. This is the point when we're supposed to show them that this is wrong. I am a youth in Zambia, and I don't think I want to be taken advantage of. I don't think I want to be taken for granted, and I don't think I want someone to assume I don't know the law. We know for a fact that what our Honorable Minister did was not in line with the laws of Zambia. Okay? But there's no way him knowing that these are not in line with the laws of Zambia even goes for a press briefing to demand an infringement on people's rights. You and I as the youth, are you telling me if I were to tell you I'm not happy with something that you've done or something that you're doing, you're going to go online and tell me to apologize and give me an ultimatum? What are you going to do if I don't face that ultimatum? I watched that interview. He failed to answer that question. You and I have to bring that accountability to this nation. Okay? Yes, posting, frustration and all that, that's one thing. But action speaks louder than those words. Okay? So we have to converge. We have to decide, what are we going to do about this? You see, we live by a constitution. The constitution allows us to put leaders. Okay? Because this is my country, this is my land. If I see some danger coming up just because you're a leader, I don't like the notion that's going around 2021 into. What do you mean 2021 into? Do you know what can happen between now and 2021? Are you going to wait that long? I personally, as a knowledgeable youth, $13 that long. If things are wrong now, the constitution gives me the power to sort them out now. Okay? This is where you and I come in. If indeed we know that things are not being done correctly, we should do something about it now. There's no way you can infringe people's rights in public like that and walk away with it, because the next person who's going to come is going to do the same thing, and the person after that is going to do the same thing. That chain is going to go on until a time when you and I are able to stand up for ourselves. For me, I prefer that time to be now. Okay? The reason why these people are apologizing is because they know they are speaking the right thing. But when push comes to shove, us the Zambian people won't back them up. They'll lock him up for I don't know how long for no reason, and you and I will not even go and rally to say release him, because we don't have that nature, Turatina. Now me personally, I don't depend on the government to give me a meal. I don't owe the government anything. The government owes me. So if anything, they should be answerable to me. You understand? So you and I shouldn't fear. That should not be in our nature. We should remove that immediately. We should remove that right now, and we should show it. Let us make a change now and show that Zambia can take accountability for itself. You understand? There's no way Zambian citizens, workers, are being locked up in some factory. The mayor of Lusaka goes to release them, you understand? And then you tell him to apologize for his deeds, and you also tell him to say that I should have asked relevant people to do it. There are relevant authorities to keep check. Relevant people who? Where were they when those people were being locked up? How is that relevant? He was the one who was relevant. But due to political pressure or whatever pressure they put on him, they made him apologize, disappointing us. Kings knows he said the right thing. And you know the way the power of the Lord works, according to the power that worketh in us. So even though King apologized, what he said sparked a lot, even in me. Okay? And that's how God's word works. You just say one thing, whether you apologize for it later on or what, as long as it was God's truth working, it works. So regardless of his apology, those facts still stand. And you and I should stand by them, and the numbers should grow, and we should take accountability now before it's too late. If we see the gold mine situation escalating faster than anything, if indeed they are ignoring our opinion, you and I should take the stand and intervene, because it's my land and it's your land. If these people, if it seems they are being greedy, this is why you and I are called the youth. It's our inheritance. If you don't fight for your inheritance, then I don't think there's ever anything you can fight for. You understand? So, I don't want to be charged for instigating a mass to gather and cause problems. So we're going to do this the right way. For now, since we're using social media, this is how fast this thing has gone. We'll continue using social media. Let everyone follow but we also need people like these human rights groups. Don't waste our time with your Facebook adverts of your human rights advocacy. If you really can't jump into this situation when the youth of the country are rising up, you jump on board and back the youth up, because we want accountability. Personally, the minister has to apologize for public infringing the youth's rights, for publicly requesting for someone who said the correct thing within his freedom of speech to apologize. He needs to apologize for that. Failure to that, we need to press charges. We need to show that Zambia is able to take accountability. He works for a lawyer. The president is a lawyer. He knows the law very well, doesn't he? So when he saw that happen, I expect my president to address his minister and say, if you watch there's no sense in what you've done. You need to revert that decision or that statement. 24 hours shouldn't have passed. But I go online, I check my feed, and the president, as we speak, is in Chirundu checking out the building of a police post. I mean, I'm not saying it's not the right thing, but come on. When there's so much unrest, especially within the youth, who are the mass population in the country, you should pause what you're doing, face and address the nation and say, this is what's up, I'm going to sort this minister out. Because if you don't, your silence can be taken for a position. We know where your position is, but I'm not here to judge. And besides, my message is not really for the politicians right now. I'm not interested in you, because I feel the ones who have to sort you out are us, the citizens. So my message is for the youth. Okay? You don't need to know who I am. I don't need to know who you are. We just have to have a common cause. For as long as you stand for what is right. Okay? Let us really show that we can hold people accountable, because accountability is the only thing that's gonna bring correction to this situation. So long story short, once again, I call upon all the youth of the country. Pull up your courage. Come on. The fate of this country is in our hands. If indeed we want to stop certain things from happening, and we want other things to happen, and for me personally, I want us to make a statement to say there's no way, no matter what kind of an official leader you are, you can't infringe people's rights and then walk away. That needs to be reverted. We need to paint a picture that that kind of thing can't happen here in Zambia, and it begins with you and I. Let us do things properly, legally. When action is needed, everyone should be willing to stand. For now, post your situations, post your frustrations, post your views about this situation, so that it's clear where all of us stand. Everyone knows that it's not just 1, 2, or 5 people speaking in this nation. Every youth is disturbed by this. Let me also clearly and formally state that I'm in no affiliation with any political party or whatever organizations that you may try and pin me with, because this is not about one person. This is not about one individual, one group. This is about the entire nation. It's about the image that we have as Zambia, which is why I would also take this time to call upon all the legal organizations operating in the country, all the legal firms. And I also send the same appeal to all the non-governmental organizations and human rights activist groups, all those organizations fighting for fairness and what is right. We are requesting for you to show your affiliation. Show your affiliation to the Zambian youths and show that indeed you can help bring correction to a situation. That alone can speak volumes about us as a country, about you as an organization, and it can paint a whole new different picture about how we do things here in Zambia. Personally, I think the levels of tolerance that we've accumulated over these years have become too much. I don't think the youth of Zambia are trying to cause unrest in the country, because it would be very, very foolish of us to see a situation which is not right, or situations rather which are not right, unfolding right before our eyes, and then we turn a deaf ear. Even the Bible says the moment we turn a deaf ear to such things, we too are responsible for those things. We are accountable for those things. If I've got a leader who breaks ethics in public and he doesn't even care, not even when you speak out against it, and then you've got another leader who comes and defends that kind of act. Zambia is a Christian nation. This is a Christian nation, whether you accept it or not. So we should always be the first ones to advocate for the same things that Christ advocated for and that he would advocate for today. And that's justice and accountability. Let us show Zambia what can be achieved when we stand our ground and when we fight for the right cause in the right way. Most of all, let us trust each other. Let's trust each other in this process, because this is our inheritance for now and also for the future.